Big muscular men. Oil. Fist
Fighting.
steamy hot springs. Wrestling. Lots of wrestling.
Wait a minute, is that CGI bear in the very first episode? Oh, this could be a problem. Golden Kamuy is one of the wildest rides I've come across in anime, and not enough people give it the attention that it deserves. I know that because I spent enough time trying to avoid it myself. There wasn't any big creator telling me to go and watch this. No big studio was behind it. It wasn't all that flashy, so I just never picked it up, and looking back, that was a huge mistake on my part. In fact, people were trashing on it when it first dropped, but now years later, it is probably one of the best series that I've come across in a long time. This is Golden Kamuy, and this is why you should never judge an anime off of one episode. Because that's what I did, and it's dumb, so don't be like me. We start out in 1905 in the middle of the Russo-Japanese War, with our main boy Sugimoto sprinting directly into Russian territory. Machine guns. Gun? People are dying, it is a brutal scene. Bullets are raining through the air, and the couple rips straight through Sugimoto's neck. Sugimoto regains his balance, somehow alive, and sprints right into the Russian trenches, brutally killing every soldier in sight. War comes to an end, the Japanese return home, and the Taliban resume political control over Afghanistan. And just as every country throughout history treats its war heroes, Sugimoto is thrown away. Not needed, left fighting some demons, with no option but to scavenge the rivers of Hokkaido in search for gold, with this old drunk dude called Danny that won't stop telling him these stories. But one of them just happens to catch Sugimoto's attention.
Your mom's a hoe.
He talks about during the Great Hokkaido Gold Rush, the region's indigenous tribe, the Ainu, managed to stockpile billions in gold, enough to change the entire landscape of their country, but not nearly enough to match the amount every simp drops during the morning stream. The gold was then lost, but thankfully one man saw the first season of Prison Break and took it upon himself to tattoo a map leading to the gold across the bodies of some death row inmates. Unfortunately, the prisoners kill off the guards, escape, and are never seen again. Like my dad. Drunk Danny finishes his story and then gets his ass eaten out by a bear. Not in the sort of 2 AM after the parade type of way, but by an actual wild bear with claws, not White Claw. Sugimoto then finds his body. It's covered in all of these tattoos. The story leading to the gold, it's true. Sugimoto then meets Ashiripa, an Ainu girl who says she'll join his adventure as her father died fighting for that same gold. And so begins the adventure of a lifetime, the most side-to-side, off-the-wall, ecstasy-induced joyride since OJ in '94. It's got a CGI bear, it's not popular, and it doesn't look like Demon Slayer. Yeah, we kind of know. And we don't care because it's better. Well, better story at least. The animation's kinda Initially we only know about Sugimoto and Ashiripa, but then more and more people decide to join in on the race for the gold. A team of Japanese restorationists led by Hijikata Tojiso want to use the gold to set Hokkaido free from Japan, establishing it as a strong independent woman. A rogue Black Ops division of the army led by Lieutenant Surumi want to use it to build weapons factories to bring more jobs to the area and keep the economy pumping for years to come. Because there's a fuck ton of money in war. Isn't that right, Mr. Bush? You can't. Everyone we meet has their own reasons for wanting the gold and are dead set in getting what they want. And with anime being anime, you initially think that, hey, anybody outside of the first group we meet are the enemy. And the story really convinces you that everybody is an enemy. Nobody can be trusted at any one time. And it doesn't give you any reason to like any of the characters when they do get introduced to this story. Most of them are hardened criminals, rotten to their very core. And more often than not, the first thing you see of them is their bad side. They do bad things because they're ultimately bad people, and as bad people they've no problem manipulating each other to gain an advantage over the other. And because of this you get characters just straight up betraying each other, acting as double agents and trading information for their own sake and hoping to God that they're never found out. But unfortunately kids, lying is a fucking sin and it makes Jesus cry. So when the anime just decides to have everybody put aside their differences and openly work with their enemies because they realize that they all want the same thing in the end. No. Gold. You sick fuck. You know that buried deep down inside that there are still some ill intentions and ulterior motives. I mean, there always will be. But this completely opens up the story in so many different ways. Because one minute you can have Sugimoto's group meet up with another and they instantly form a bond over the simplest of things. They're dicks.
What's important in life are dicks.
This keeps the entire story fresh at all times. It doesn't stick with a set cast for the entire journey, but rotates constantly. You see characters that are ready to kill each other, find a common goal to work toward and set aside their differences. And this is what the story does best. Because each and every single one of the characters that make up the different groups we have in the series are absolute savages. Low-ranking privates can be just as badass as the main cast. Spoiled man-children are as ruthless as the most dangerous of criminals. Everybody has a role to play in this story, and each of them can shine just as bright as the next when their time comes. You can see them go from people that were trying to kill each other to becoming trusted companions. Fully fleshed out characters with their own fears, regrets, promises, dreams, and past traumas that have turned them into who they are now. Minor characters can find find themselves front and center. Before you and I know it, we become just as invested in each of these characters as the next. Characters like Surumi and Hijikata, who you once saw as pure evil, infect you with their charisma and demand your love and attention. So fuck it, yeah, these guys aren't so bad after all. They're not that bad. They're actually great guys. Fuck. You begin to realize that there are no enemies. You begin to realize that everybody just happens to be a person whose past experiences has made them who they are. People that you begun to trust end up stabbing you in the back, and you end up getting helped out by the most unlikely of characters. Because what Golden Kamuy does is show you just how most of these evil people are actually human at their core. They see themselves in each other and share this common understanding. It may be one journey toward a simple goal, but the entire depth and extent of these interactions make the entire story feel like it could just go on forever. Hot take. Golden Kamuy also has better comedy than 90% of comedy anime out there. You get the most bizarre yet realistic situations taking place while searching for the gold. For example, the boys end up joining a Russian fight club where the champ has a fetish for getting hit, a hunter that sees everything as a boner, people pissing on each other, near homoerotic orgies almost breaking out because somebody ate the wrong fish, fighting blind ninjas naked in a hot spring. And while mainly about adventure, makes you realize how much time you wasted watching Girlfriend, or Rent a Girlfriend, or really any other anime with girlfriend in the title. If you take Golden Kamuy and put them against each other, it is a brutal first round knockout via head kick. It's game over. But what are probably the most unforgettable moments in this entire series are the complete opposite. They are nearly silent but also louder than any of the rest in the story. A once savage criminal, now a delusioned old man living alone by the sea in this tiny fishing village. A Japanese spy in Russia holds the body of his dead child one last time before revealing his true identity to his dying wife. Golden Kamuy is able to expertly balance the action, comedy and emotion brilliantly. Nothing ever overstays its welcome. It is well paced, hits hard and teaches you some valuable life lessons. Like what is the best way to oil up your friend inside a sauna? That's kinda sus, yeah. It's really one of those series that gets better and better with each season, but some people just watch the first episode and think, you know what, I'm good. CGI bear, green screen fire effect, I'm out. Golden Kamuy is unfairly ignored and roasted for these problems, but for the most part, you can just look past them. Fuck, they're not even on screen for less than a second. It doesn't need a huge budget, because if Tokyo Revengers has taught us anything, bad animation will never get in the way of a good story, and Golden Kamuy is undoubtedly one of the best around. Hi, my name is Ben. Subscribe, like the video, share it, comment good morning down below. Bye.